7 deceptive tactics that make you lose self-belief, and how to hold on to the truth according to Stoicism. Introduction. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a vague sense of emptiness, wondering if what you believe is actually true? Or are you living in a play where the script was pre-written by someone else? Have you ever felt your inner voice grow so weak that it's drowned out by judgments, societal standards, and harsh self-criticism? We are living in an era where truth is a luxury, where the human mind is easily manipulated by sophisticated mechanisms. That pain is not just ordinary confusion, it is a profound ontological crisis. When you begin to doubt your own perceptions, when you feel like a stranger in the mirror, that is when the black to white deceptive tactics have invaded and occupied your inner citadel. Today, we will embark on a journey deep into the labyrinth of the mind. We will not only identify the 7 most insidious psychological manipulation tactics, those silently stripping away your autonomy, but also learn how to reclaim power from Stoic masters like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, and the psychological depth of Carl Jung. This is a dialogue between sober reason and the dark realms of the unconscious to find the path of individuation. If you are looking for a solid anchor amidst the turbulence of life, let's go to the very end of the truth. Before we begin, take a second to subscribe to the Stoicism Jungian channel, like, and share this video. Your support is the energy that allows us to continue spreading awareness to the community. Tactic 1. Gaslighting and the collapse of the inner citadel. Gaslighting is the most malevolent form of manipulation, where the manipulator denies your reality until you begin to doubt your own memory and perception. They say, "You're too sensitive," or "That never happened." According to Stoic philosophy, especially Epictetus, the only possession no one can take from you is prohairesis, the faculty of judgment in free will. When you allow gaslighting to enter, you are handing over the key to your inner citadel to the enemy. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Holding on to the truth begins with understanding that your perception is your own. From the perspective of Carl Jung's analytical psychology, gaslighting directly attacks the formation of the ego and weakens trust and intuition. When external reality is constantly distorted, the shadow, the repressed part of the soul, rises with extreme fear and insecurity. You begin to create a submissive persona to please the manipulator, losing the connection with the self. To cope, Stoicism teaches us to practice detachment, clearly distinguish between what is within our control, our truth, and what is outside our control, the words of others. Do not try to convince the manipulator that you are right. Quietly fortify the truth within your soul. Jung called this listening to the inner person. Truth does not need to be defended by argument. It must be defended by the steadfastness of consciousness. Tactic 2. The mask of sanctity and persona identification. This tactic occurs when society or those around you force you to play the role of the good person according to their standards, making you feel guilty for any differing personal thoughts or feelings. This is the trap of the persona. Carl Jung defined the persona as a social mask we wear to fit in, but the danger lies in when we start believing we are that mask. When you trade your true nature to become someone else's ideal model, you are betraying yourself. Seneca wrote, "There is nothing more shameful than living according to opinion instead of according to reason." Living to please the crowd is a form of voluntary slavery. In Stoic philosophy, the ultimate goal is to live according to nature. Nature here includes both human rational nature and the unique nature of the individual. Forcing yourself into a fake sanctified mold is an act against nature. Jung argued that if we over-identify with the persona, the shadow becomes extremely dangerous because it is overly suppressed. To break this tactic, you must have the courage to face your shadow. Accept that you have flaws, anger, and your own desires. Stoic awareness helps you realize your value does not lie in how you look in the eyes of others, but in the integrity of the inner soul. When you remove an ill-fitting mag, you move closer to individuation, the process of becoming the unique person you were meant to be. Tactic 3. Guilt projection and the invasion of the shadow. Manipulators often use projection. They push their own faults, insecurities, and vices onto you, making you believe you are the one to blame. Carl Jung called this the projection of the shadow. When a person lacks the courage to face their own dark side, they see it everywhere in others. If you are not steadfast, you will absorb this negative energy and begin to punish yourself for things you did not do. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Accepting guilt that does not belong to you is a form of self-destruction of reason. To neutralize projection, Stoicism teaches us about the examination of impressions. Catalepsis. When someone blames you, do not rush to accept it as an objective truth. Calmly analyze. Does this accurately reflect my actions, or is this a psychological reflection of them? Jung believed that when we recognize someone else's shadow trying to cling to us, we can have compassion without being drawn in. You must be the gatekeeper of your own mind. The truth is not changed by baseless accusations. Keep your conscience clear like a flat mirror. It only reflects what truly exists, undistorted by the illusions others throw at it. Amidst the turbulence of the mind, finding a moment of silence to reevaluate oneself is the most precious medicine. Let these philosophies sink deep into every breath. If you feel these insights are touching your soul, please hit like so the algorithm can bring this awakening to more people. Tactic 4. Mental isolation and the danger of severing collective ties. A sophisticated tactic is making you believe you are alone, that no one understands you, and that only the manipulator truly cares for you. This is how they break your will to resist. In Jungian psychology, humans are part of the collective unconscious. Being isolated cuts us off from supportive and guiding archetypes. When alone in the dark, primal fears easily arise. However, Stoicism offers a different perspective on solitude. Epictetus said, "You are never alone because God and your genius are within you." Physical loneliness does not equate to mental isolation if you have a strong inner self. The way to overcome isolation is to practice okaiosis, the harmony with the human community. Even if you are detached from toxic relationships, you still belong to this vast world. Connect with great ideas through books, philosophy, and art. Jung believed that the process of individuation requires us to withdraw inward to dialogue with archetypes. But the ultimate goal is to return to the community with a new mindset. Do not fear solitude. Turn it into the stillness required to hear the voice of reason. When you find the truth within yourself, you realize you are connected to the entire universe. A manipulator can take away your friends, but they cannot take away the connection between your soul and eternal truth. Tactic 5. Double standards and the erosion of self-esteem. This tactic works by imposing a strict set of rules on you, while the manipulator allows themselves to violate them. This injustice makes you feel inferior and never good enough. According to Stoicism, self-esteem does not come from meeting external standards, but from arete, virtue and personal moral excellence. Seneca affirmed, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Similarly, a person lacking self-control is one who always looks to the yardstick of others to judge themselves. In analytical psychology, accepting someone else's double standard is allowing your persona to be distorted by another's will, a negative activation of the anima/animus. You begin to feel split between what you should do and who you are. To hold on to the truth, you must establish an internal value system. Marcus Aurelius would ask himself every morning, What will I do today to maintain my integrity? Truth has no double standards. Truth is singular. When you live consistently across thought, word, and deed, all manipulation through double standards loses its power. You don't need to be better than anyone. You only need to be loyal to the Stoic principles you have chosen for your life. Tactic 6, emotional overload to paralyze. Reason manipulators often create emotional storms, anger, weeping, or threats, to make you lose your orientation and prevent logical thinking. When emotions run high, reason usually retreats. This is when white is easily turned into black. Stoicism places great emphasis on controlling the passions, pathe. Epictetus taught that we are not hurt by things, but by our opinions about things. Someone else's anger can only harm you if you allow it to enter and unsettle your inner peace. Carl Jung viewed intense emotions as manifestations of complexes in the unconscious. When attacked emotionally, these complexes are activated and take control of the ego. To cope, practice the observation of the objective observer. Instead of being swept into the storm, take a step back and view it as a natural phenomenon, like a rain shower or thunder. Say to yourself, this is an emotion rising, it is not me. Maintaining sanity amidst chaos is the ultimate exercise for a Stoic. When you maintain stillness, the truth will appear clearly at the bottom of the mind's lake once the emotional ripples have subsided. Tactic 7, the mirage of promise in the trap of the future. The final tactic is the manipulator painting a bright future or a fake change to keep you trapped in a miserable reality. They promise things will be different later, or I will change for you. This is the substitution of the present with an illusion that never arrives. Stoicism teaches us about hic et nunc, here and now. Seneca warned, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Clinging to someone else's promise is a denial of the only power you have, action in the present. From a Jungian perspective, the mirage of promise often appeals to the archetype of the child seeking safety or the hero wanting to save the relationship. We get caught in inflation delusions instead of facing the harsh reality of the individuation process. To hold on to the truth, you must look at what is happening right now, not what might happen. Truth lies in present action, in how you treat yourself at this very moment. Do not let a fake future blind you to existing wounds. Have the courage to cut ties with illusions, to walk the path of truth, even if that path may be lonely and difficult. Every step on the journey back to the self is a victory over illusions. Don't forget to leave a comment about your experience and subscribe to the Stoicism Jungian channel so we can forge our character together every day. Conclusion: the courage to live in truth. We have traveled together through the 7 labyrinths of manipulation, from gaslighting to the mirage of promises. These tactics can shake your faith, but they can never destroy the deepest essence of your soul unless you permit it. Remember, the manipulator's goal is to turn you into a piece of their world, while the goal of Stoic philosophy and Jungian psychology is to help you become a whole and autonomous entity. Truth is not something distant to be searched for. Truth is your conscious presence right now. To heal and maintain your fortitude, you need to practice daily awareness. Face your shadow so that no one can use it against you. Remove the persona if it is too tight. Fortify your inner citadel with immutable moral principles. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." If you keep your thoughts pure and rational, no darkness can stain your soul. The journey of individuation is not a path strewn with roses, but a path through fire to forge the sword of awareness. You have the right to be wrong, the right to be weak, but you do not have the right to abandon your own truth. Stand tall, look straight, and live with all the integrity of a Stoic soul. The world may go mad, but inside you must be a boulder amidst the rushing rapids. The truth will set you free, but first, it requires the courage to see it. Stoicism Jungian, forge an iron mind, understand the depths.